Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday. It is the last Monday of October. It's next to the last day of the month, the 31st, and what will be certainly a spooky Halloween tomorrow weather-wise, as we're talking about some big changes. The real smack in the face coming Wednesday and Wednesday night. But tomorrow it's going to be definitely on the cooler side of things. And we will talk about all of that and a freeze watch in effect and how there could be a few flakes of flying about in just a few moments. A lot to cover and to talk about this week. Tonight we will begin by local authorities and school officials addressing a threat made by a high school student earlier today. Sheriff Meade joins us in just a second. Some good news, some positive news. Hitting a big goal that he really didn't think was possible, and then some. An annual project that started off with a mere few dollars and helping a mere 5 kids not so many years ago. And as well, Election Day, a week from tomorrow. Think about that for just a few seconds, and we will get to your election schedule and calendar and how you can as well be sure to get a copy of that in this week's edition of the Sagersville Independent. I'll talk about that and much more in just a second. It's in the air and it's on the calendar. Fall is here and the seasonal shop is filled with new clothes for the season. New arrivals from Charlie Page, Mud Pie, Royce, and more. And the new shoes are some of their favorites that they've ever had. And beautiful t-shirts and sweatshirts for every occasion and season, plus new shirts for all the Wildcat fans, the Montgomery County Hornet fans, teachers, football mamas, and more. And fellas, they didn't leave us out either. After many requests, they have brought back the fan favorite turn rows, shirts, and hoodies, and they've got a large selection of Ridge and Holler. And if you need a little self-pampering, their new selection of spa gifts are the perfect gift idea or a treat for yourself. Fall and Halloween decor on the floor right now. It's gorgeous, and Christmas is coming through the door right now, all at the seasonal shop.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in small-town values.
And mom and dad and the things they handed down.
I believe some of the best people in the world are farmers.
I believe in insurance that protects families, homes, and cars.
I believe in always finding a way to do what you love.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
Born and raised in Eastern Kentucky, award-winning tax attorney, teacher, and coach Kim Reeder is running to be your next state auditor. Kim understands the auditor needs to be fair and hardworking. She's been traveling to all 120 counties to talk to Kentuckians about how the auditor's office can serve us. These experiences will drive her as auditor. Ready on day one, Kim will audit state school funding to local districts, shining the auditor's light on the gaps. Kim Reeder for state auditor. Qualified, professional, ready.
The reassurance of getting your medications and over-the-counter needs at Sagersville's oldest and most trusted pharmacy, the convenience of curbside pickup and call-ahead service, and the fact that you can walk in, order to go, or sit down and get gourmet quality hot fudge brownies, nachos, shakes, coffees, hot dogs with homemade sauce, desserts, and more makes it more than your hometown Good Neighbor Pharmacy. It's a destination in downtown Sagersville. Frazier's
Prater Drugstore. It doesn't get any sweeter than that.
At Appalachian Wireless, we have the best service and the best deals right now.
Save up to $500 on iPhone 13s and 14s, all models, all gigabytes with trade-in.
Maybe go for an iPhone 12 for a penny with a 2-year contract.
We're not leaving out Samsung. Save up to $350 on select Samsung devices, including the S23.
It's a win-win this month at Appalachian Wireless. The service, the savings, y'all got to jump on this deal right now.
At Appalachian Wireless, we get you because we are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
AppalachianWireless.com for terms.
In state economics, in East Kentucky economics, Governor Beshear today announced that Brothers Wright Distilling is going to be producing bourbon in Pike County that is coal mine aged bourbon. This sounds rather genius to me. Not only is it going to create some 28 full-time jobs after some 50 temporary, with an almost $40 million investment today, Governor Beshear announced this innovative addition to Kentucky's signature bourbon industry as Brothers Wright Distilling Company is going to invest about $38 million, create those jobs by establishing a new distillery that's going to use rehabilitated underground coal mines to age their bourbon and products. Again, genius. Company leaders are going to build a 12,000 square foot distillery, rick house where the barrels are kept, welcome center, museum, and restaurant on a 20-acre tract, part of a larger 1,200-acre parcel of property along Highway 292 in Pike County, with future plans for lodging and an underground visitor experience. They're going to age their Kentucky-made bourbon in a rehabilitated coal mine that encompasses 1,400 acres underground. 1,400 acres underground on the mine property that operated from 1913 for about 30 years, or a little longer, through 46. Now, 100 years later, the mine's internal dry stacked rock walls are there. They're intact, they're in good shape, and the site already serves as home to its first barrels of the company's product, which were distilled in Pike County. They've already moved them in, testing the waters, so to speak, and construction of the new facility is going to begin later this year to be completed by the end of next year. It was just a few years ago in 2020 that brothers Kendall and Shannon Wright bought the 1,200-acre farm along the Tug Fork and started to work to restore the property for use as a corporate retreat location. After they bought it, the brothers discovered the coal mine maps of the property, which uncovered the location of the mine that is now being used to age the bourbon. For over 30 years, up through 1946, more than 23 million tons of coal were mined out of this property, according to one of the brothers, Kendall, who is a co-owner of Brothers and Wright Distilling. He says that miners from all over the world traveled here to work, live, and provide fuel to our nation during its greatest period of growth. And he says they feel there is something special about honoring the work completed there over a century ago with a completely unique bourbon experience. Now, if you recognize the Wright name, Wright Concrete and Construction and a host of other businesses in Kentucky are all there and part of the family, which employs over 200 people all together. Again, rather ingenious. Our top story tonight is now going to take us to the McGoffin County Sheriff's Department. Bill Meade, our sheriff, says that he was contacted as part of an investigation after school authorities at the McGoffin County High School received word about a threat made on social media.
The McGoffin County Sheriff's Office received a call from the McGoffin County High School informing us of a situation involving some threats that had been made towards the school and the people inside the school. So I sent Deputy Tyler Lafferty to the school to look into the matter. The investigation shows that there were threats made by a student, a virtual student, who is living or staying in Paintsville currently. So we made contact with the Paintsville Police Department and asked for their assistance in the matter. They were able to contact the juvenile, and the juvenile was picked up and is currently facing charges for the threats. It was determined that the charges would be filed in Johnson County because the threats had originated from there. I would like to let everyone know that currently there's no credible threats directed towards any of the students or the faculty of the McGoffin County school system involving this matter. The juvenile will be dealt with in juvenile court, and we have offered the Paintsville Police Department any additional assistance that they may need.
And we here at Your News Today and the Syersville Independent have reached out to the Paintsville Police Department to find out any other possible information about their investigation, but have not received any details as of yet. And as you can expect, I reached out to School Superintendent Chris Meadows and Principal Brian Conley. As it turns out, they were both returning from a school-related conference, but were both up to date on the situation, and they too both confirmed that there was determined to be no credible threat and that law enforcement were still handling the situation appropriately, and that there was no reason for any concern in the school system, that all will be as normal in McGoffin schools tomorrow. Some good news tonight. In a few seconds, right now, a reminder, Election Day, very, very close. And here are some important dates and things you might want to know before you go to the polls in McGoffin County. This copy of which you can find in this week's edition of the Syersville Independent, and lasts as well, including the sample ballot, as well as early voting times and dates, excused voting, and of course the voting locations for the November 7th general election. Here in McGoffin County, of course, as is the case with many other precincts and counties and the like, a relatively short ballot this fall, beginning with the Office of Attorney General, where there will be on the Republican ballot Russell Coleman running against Democratic Party Representative and nominee Pamela Stevenson. For Commissioner of Agriculture, Republican Jonathan Schell, and Democratic candidate Sierra J. Enlow, and of course a place for write-in candidates as well. For Auditor of Public Accounts, Allison Ball from Floyd County on the Republican ballot, Kimberly Kim Reeder on the Democratic ballot. On the State Treasurer's ballot, we have Mark H. Metcalf, Republican, and Democrat Michael Bowman for Kentucky State Treasurer. Some other important information, the fact that early voting started, of course, last Wednesday. It continued today. It will continue tomorrow and Wednesday. That is early, non-excused voting in the McGoffin County Court Clerk's Office. Excused voting will be this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and they will be all at the Clerk's Office from 8:30 until 4 each day, with closing from 12 to 1 for lunch. So early voting, non-excused, goes up through Wednesday, day after tomorrow. Then excused voting is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And the locations, of course, will be listed in the Independent as they are here. No changes from last election, so you more than likely know exactly where you're going. But if you have any questions, be sure and pick up tomorrow's edition, or Thursday's edition of the Syersville Independent. Getting way ahead of myself there. Up next, tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau calendar. First off, in the lost category of the lost and found, we have a viewer who's lost a man's diamond ring somewhere, we believe, between Frazier's Prater Drugstore and the Syersville Post Office. This was Friday. It's a large diamond ring. It's got 5 stones, 1 in the center and 4 around it. It has some brushed and other textures, carat total weight. And if you have seen or know someone who may have seen or picked it up, not knowing whose it was, 205-3224. Or the work number for the individual is 349-3138 at Frazier's Prater Drugs. And vaccines will be available at the McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center. That's flu, RSV, pneumonia, shingles, COVID. Contact for an appointment your ADRC, that's Aging and Disability Vaccine Collaborative Representative or Coordinator, through the Kentucky Department of Health at 606-886-2374, extension 307, or april.murphy@bigsandy.org if you want to email to make an appointment, or you can contact, of course, Marlene at 349-5152 if you need some help there. But this again will be Wednesday, November the 15th, 10 till noon at the Senior Citizens Center. And a reminder, Christmas in November is this weekend at the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center in Sagersville. All sorts of vendors. They hope to see you there. And remind everyone, it's a great way to get some really cool gifts for Christmas on your list or for yourself. And it's hosted by the Royalton Community Council for the Walnut Festival. And another reminder for you, the Middle Fork Fire Department is having a live auction this Saturday the 4th at 4 new tools, a lot of other merchandise, and a soup bean dinner to go along with it. It will be available at the auction, Middle Fork Fire Department, big auction this Saturday at 4 o'clock. And use my calendar any weeknight that you so need it for birthdays or anniversaries or important announcements like you just heard. Love to tell everyone about what's going on and what's planned in our little part of the world. From calendar announcements to funeral services, we'll now go to those provided by the Magafa County Funeral Home. Learning today, after coming in over the weekend, that services were held earlier today for Deidre Hensley Stevens, 53, of Sagersville, who passed away Friday at her home. The daughter to Justice and Twyla Hensley, she survived by her husband, Callie Bubby Stevens, and her daughters, Lacey Russell, Alexandria Stevens, and Abby Stevens, her brother, Jared Hensley, and sisters, Rachel Trusty and Sabrina Montgomery, as well as 3 grandchildren. Again, services for Deidre were held earlier today. And services are pending and yet to be said in honor of 41-year-old Jamie Puckett Bays of Sagersville, who passed away on today's date at her home, the daughter of James Puckett and the late Dinah Blanton Puckett. Those to be announced through the Magafa County Funeral Home. Two locations, 2 ATMs, too much history, over 120 years, and just too many reasons not to trust the oldest, only banking family that exists for the sole purpose of helping your families, our friends, grow financially and securely. Lean on Sagersville National Bank for any of your home, auto, commercial, retirement, or online banking needs. And let us help you make your dreams come true. Someone dies in the U.S. every 7 minutes from an overdose, and over half of the population gets or takes pills from a friend or relative. And about 46 million and counting are exposed to narcotics in their drinking water. So don't toss them, flush them, or leave them lying around. Safely dispose of your unneeded meds anytime at Parkway Pharmacy,
where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
Logan Corporation in Sagersville is now hiring. Due to continued growth and expansion, Logan Corporation is now looking for all local welders and fabricators, and experience is not necessary. For full-time positions with benefits, applications must be picked up at the Logan Corporation office at 124 Ward Road off of Parkway Drive in downtown Sagersville. Logan Corporation since 1904, and a leader in the manufacture of mining and truck equipment.
We've got to make sure we have an auditor that's up for the job and does it right. We've got to elect Kim as our next state auditor.
Kim Reeder for state auditor. Qualified, professional, ready.
When Joe Biden abused his power and opened the southern border, I took him to court. When Biden mandated vaccines, I got it reversed. When Biden drove up the price of new cars and gas at the pump, I rallied a dozen state governments to block him. Now the Washington liberals want to change our country for the worse. As your governor, I will fight them every day. Andy Beshear, you never will. I'm Daniel Cameron, and I put Kentucky first, even when it's hard.
There where every day starts, it's made, and it ends. From hitting the floor to hitting the road and back, your feet carry the day's duties. And if you're hurting from what might be a work or sports or stress-related fracture you don't even know about, diabetic, or that all too often heel pain that just won't go away, or any type of pain or discomfort or in need of wound care, come to where they care.
Put your best foot forward and come visit our podiatry team. We care about our patients and their feet.
That's Dr. Cheney and her team at Hope Family Podiatry Center next to Hope Family Pediatrics on the Mountain Parkway.
Platinum award-winning singer-songwriter Chris Jansen is coming to the MAC, and he'll be playing hits such as Buy Me a Boat.
But it can buy me a boat. It can buy me a truck to pull.
Fix a Drink.
But I can fix a drink.
And one of his most recent hits, Good Vibes.
I'm getting them good vibes. I'm living this good life.
Get your tickets now. Call 1-888-MAC-ARTS, stop by the People's Bank box office, or visit macarts.com.
I got me a full cup.
Get the right fit, the right tread, and the reliability you need for whatever you're rolling in at Conley Tire, where right now through October the 31st, get a $100 rebate on Generals, $120 on Kumos, and go to conleytire.net to find other special offers on the biggest names, plus brakes, oil changes, and computer diagnostics, all with 6 months no interest at Conley Tire in Staffordsville. City Councilman Paul Montgomery, who is as well a member of the Sayersville Masonic Lodge and one of the big driving forces between our Coats for Kids program here in McGoffin County, has seen that program start from helping a mere, I think it was 5 kids several years ago, but not all that many in comparison to the growth they have seen with donations of just a few dollars. Last year, a record-setting $12,000 year helped them reach out to and help serve and support 120 kids, with setting an even loftier goal for themselves this year that Montgomery says he really didn't think they were going to meet. But we've had a big few days here in Sayersville and McGoffin County thanks to a lot of special people who have wanted to help. Last year when you hit 12 grand, what'd you think?
I thought it was unbelievable to hit $12,000, which 12,000 was 120 kids we have, so it was unbelievable. So you always set your goals higher. And so this year I set for 15. I didn't think it was realistic, but over the weekend we hit over 15,000.
What put you over the edge?
Tony Williams and Got Munchies food trucks always at Founders Day and 4th of July and stuff. They called me and him and his crew. They wanted to do something or other, and he called me a couple weeks ago and wanted to set up a Thursday and Friday, and all the monies that they made, all the profits they made for the 2 days, they donated it to the Coats for Kids. And so they set up over at City Hall Thursday and Friday, and when they got done, Friday and Saturday. When they got done Saturday evening, they had $1,474. So the girls pulled their pocket and the money together and made up the other $26 and made it even $1,500. So it was really a blessing, and that put us over the edge. And then plus I got 3 more checks today, and people donating. And the most unbelievable thing about this, I've really not asked anyone to donate. They've seen what we've done throughout the years with this. The horse shows, had people just helping with the horse shows, and it's unbelievable. Had some big donors. The Millwrights local in the state of Kentucky donated $1,000. The company I work for, Interfab, donated $500. SL1 Construction here in Sayersville, they donated $500. Several, untold $100 and $50 and $20 and $10s, whatever. It's just unbelievable. It really is. It's. I didn't think we were going to hit the 15 grand, but I was tickled to death for what we had. But put it over the edge this weekend.
And Paul's already reached out to our Family Resource Youth Service Center directors at each of our schools. They're getting together a list, and they're going to be making that happen very, very soon. With over $15,000 of your graciously donated money, they will take that and have all sorts of warm clothing, shoes, coats, and things for kids in McGoffin County. Truly, as Paul said, a blessing. Chilly out there today, rainy and chilly again tomorrow. We're going to see some sunshine and the upper 40s. Some folks might actually see close to 50 tomorrow. It will be late tomorrow night, however, that things will take a more dramatic turn. Some flakes could be flying about. We will see a hard freeze as well. The worst of which not until around midnight or a little after. Well, albeit cold and obviously wet, but it's been a cold and dreary day today, but we really did need the rain, and that is a good thing. We did need the rainfall, and it's not been heavy. It's just been kind of steady at times, and as you can see by the local Doppler radar, and zooming out even a little bit further, we're going to continue to see some of those showers for a while longer as temperatures continue to drop, dropping down to the upper 40s by this afternoon, and as I said, getting closer to a freeze watch already in effect for overnight tomorrow. For the rest of your Monday, sprinkling conditions out there, light sprinkles for the next little bit, and cloudy skies, and a low of around 34 by the time it's all said and done, along with a north wind 3 to 5 miles per hour. Nothing dramatic. Tomorrow, temperatures 46, 47, 48 degrees. It's going to be becoming sunny. We'll see some cloudy skies early, but skies will become sunny tomorrow. Winds will be calm, and although it's going to be in the upper 40s and close to 50 for some, it's going to be a cool one in the neighborhood, but the sun will be welcome and make it feel very nice. Tomorrow night for your Halloween evening, things will go downhill, and certainly as we get closer to that midnight hour, and somewhat before. I mean, ultimately, we're talking about a low of 25. That freeze watch is in effect from midnight tomorrow night until 10 o'clock Wednesday morning. And Wednesday, like I said earlier, is the real smack in the face, because look at that. Sunny and 47 tomorrow. Eventually, slow getting there with some northwesterly winds, anywhere from 8 to 20 miles per hour or so. And then maybe a few flakes late tomorrow night as temperatures get well below freezing. And some moisture might still be in the tank. Just a flake or two at most. But that's just enough to really, clear the milk shelves and the bread aisles, right? Wednesday, 44 frost, obviously, early, and sunny skies thereafter. And 19 degrees, ladies and gentlemen. That will be the coldest we've seen thus far this season. And Thursday will rebound gladly with some frost, as you saw, into the low 50s. And then we're back out of this hole. We'll dig ourselves out and have a nice little run thereafter. Friday, the lowest of 60s, 61. Nighttime lows still putting us close to the frost mark. We'll be surprised to see a little frost Saturday morning with 33 degrees between Friday and Saturday, but mostly clear skies. And for your weekend, pretty nice, and that's a good little recovery. Mid-60s Saturday, close to it on Sunday, mostly sunny both days. We will, just to cover our bases, include a 20% chance or so of some very light showers Sunday that I'm hoping will just kind of phase its way out of the forecast and leave us with nothing to really even talk about in that respect. And we're going to hold on to that pattern at least through Monday of next week with the low 60s and nighttime lows getting into the low 40s and out of the 30s with still a lot of sunshine above. But we've got a couple of cold ones, and definitely, Wednesday morning will be one of them, but Wednesday night and Thursday will be the coldest of all. And that'll do it for just one night in of programming this week. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. See you tomorrow, I hope.